The stage lights of the talent show glowed softly as the next contestant was announced, and a quiet murmur spread across the audience. A young Filipino singer walked onto the stage, dressed simply, almost humbly, as if unsure whether they truly belonged there. Their posture reflected a mixture of nerves and determination, the kind that comes from carrying dreams for a very long time. The judges glanced at one another, not dismissive, but not particularly expectant either. It wasn't unusual. Many contestants came and went, each hoping to stand out. When asked about their background, the singer spoke honestly about growing up with very little, about singing not for fame, but as a form of escape from hardship. There was a sincerity in their voice that caught attention, even before a single note had been sung. Still, no one could have predicted what would happen next. As the music for I Love You began, originally made famous by Celine Dion, the room seemed to settle into a tense silence. The first note came out soft, almost trembling, as if testing the air itself. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And then something shifted. With each passing second, the singer's confidence grew, their voice expanding into something rich and powerful. The vulnerability in their tone wasn't a weakness. It became their greatest strength. The lyrics carried emotion that felt lived in, not rehearsed. You could hear the story behind every word: struggle, longing, hope. The audience leaned in, sensing that this was no ordinary audition. It was the beginning of something unforgettable. By the time the first chorus arrived, the atmosphere in the room had completely transformed. What started as a quiet performance had blossomed into a breathtaking display of raw talent. The singer's voice soared, filling every corner of the theater with a resonance that sent chills through the crowd. Some audience members covered their mouths in disbelief, while others exchanged glances that said, "Are you hearing this?" The judges, too, were visibly affected. One leaned forward, elbows on the desk, eyes locked on the stage. Another sat back, stunned, as if trying to process the sudden shift from modest expectations to undeniable brilliance. It was the kind of moment talent shows live for, the unexpected rise of someone who had been underestimated. Then came the bridge of a song, often the most emotionally demanding part, and the singer delivered it with such depth that it felt almost personal to every listener. Their voice cracked, not from weakness, but from feeling, and instead of breaking the performance, it made it even more powerful. It reminded everyone that this wasn't just about hitting the right notes. It was about telling a story. Tears began to appear in the audience, and even the judges were no longer hiding their reactions. One of them wiped their eyes discreetly, while another shook their head in disbelief, a faint smile forming as if acknowledging they were witnessing something truly special. The performance had crossed a line, from impressive to unforgettable. As the final chorus approached, the singer held nothing back. Every ounce of emotion, every bit of strength they had built up throughout the performance, poured into those last moments. The high notes rang out clear and strong, carrying a sense of triumph that felt earned, not forced. It was as if the singer had taken their entire life, the struggles, the doubts, the dreams, and condensed it into a few minutes of music. When the final note was held, it lingered in the air, just long enough to create a perfect silence before the entire room erupted into applause. It wasn't just loud, it was immediate and overwhelming, the kind of reaction reserved for performances that truly move people. The camera cut to the judges, and their reaction said everything. One judge laughed softly, almost in disbelief, while another clapped with genuine admiration. And then there was Simon Cowell, known for his critical eye and often hard-to-please nature. He sat there for a moment, silent, processing what he had just witnessed. When he finally spoke, his words carried a rare sincerity. He acknowledged the unexpected nature of the performance, praising not just the voice but the authenticity behind it. It wasn't just about technical skill. It was about connection, about making people feel something real. His reaction alone spoke volumes. To leave someone like him speechless, even briefly, was no small feat. As the contestants stood on stage, overwhelmed by the response, it was clear that this moment was more than just an audition. It was a turning point, a reminder that talent can come from anywhere, that greatness doesn't always announce itself loudly at first. Sometimes it walks in quietly, underestimated, carrying a story that the world hasn't heard yet. And when it finally finds its voice, it has the power to stop everything, even if just for a few minutes. For that Filipino singer, it wasn't just about advancing a competition. It was about being seen, being heard, and proving that no matter where you come from, your voice can reach further than you ever imagined.